have no idea why we would use this entrance, but this is the back entrance to the Waterside Centre. We're just south, well, just a little bit lower than the Stone Bow, and just sort of off the High Street to one side. And all good English cities have a major shopping centre, and the Waterside Centre is the one for Lincoln. It has been, well, at least during my lifetime. So obviously I have many millions of memories of shopping here, but one distinct memory is of coming out, because we used to use the other door. I'll show you the other door actually on the High Street, and we came out of that door there, and we were heading up the road, sort of up and across this bit of parkland, sort of up in that direction. This was me and my sister when we were doing revision. I can't help thinking we were going to the library. Can't exactly remember where that is, except I imagine it's somewhere up that road. Anyway, we were going there, and it was the second time I was attacked. Well, I've been attacked 4 times in my life, twice in Lincoln, and this was the second time in Lincoln. And this was late 90s. Pigeons everywhere. I was with my sister, and it wasn't really an attack. It was there was a guy at school who used to pick on me, and he'd been sort of hanging around, and he grabbed my bag. He was on a bike, grabbed my bag as I was sort of walking out, and dumped it in this, I think this little bin here. I broke all my pencils, all my rulers, that sort of thing. So it wasn't really an attack. Well, it was a violation, but it wasn't an attack, I suppose. So anyway, he just cycled off after that. And nothing was ever really done about it. I complained about it at school, but nothing was ever done about it, because of course it happened outside of school on private property that wasn't owned by the school. So there we are. Outside the Waterside Centre with a "Welcome to Lincoln" sign, and it just talks about some of the things, historical things, which I suppose I ought to read out, really. Let me have a think. I suppose we ought to do the Stone Bow and the Lincoln Drill Hall, because there's the big two around here. It says the Lincoln Drill Hall, a combination of solid Victorian red brick and fanciful turrets. The Drill Hall has been a well-known landmark on Broadgate since 1890. Joseph Austin, eminent local industrialist, built and donated it to the City Council for police and military drill practice. The Drill Hall was part of Lincoln's system of defences in both World Wars. Oops, I want to look over. That's what it looks like. And it's sort of up there somewhere, I think. During the latter part of the 20th century, many community activities and functions were held here. The building required extensive refurbishment, for which funds were lacking. It closed altogether in 1999. With external funding, it was imaginatively restored, and in 2004 reopened as a leading arts and community venue owned by Ruston Hall Trust. The Drill Hall has an extensive converged programme, blah 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 blah. And the Stone Bow down here, which we've just walked through. The name derives from the Scandinavian Stenenborgi, which means stone arch. This was probably a Viking reference to the Roman South Gate, which was still standing when they arrived in the 9th century. It survived to the end of the 14th century, but by then was in such a state of disrepair that it was demolished. Work on a new gate on the same site was completed in 1520. The east wing once housed the city jail. And you can see all the sorts of things that are kept inside it on the tours, which they aren't doing this weekend for some reason. Never mind. There we are. A very, very long time ago, this building here used to be called C&A. C&A was a housing, sorry, not a housing, it was a clothing shop which crashed probably in the early 90s, I would have thought. Way before we left Lincoln, but I always remember it as C&A because we used to be a favourite for my parents to take me clothes shopping, which I didn't like. Didn't like C&A, didn't like their clothes, didn't like clothes shopping. But there we are. And we're just sort of, this is the Waterside Centre, the other side of it. And this is the, part of the Brayford pool. And look, there is a swan. Swans all swans are the property of Her Majesty the Queen. You're not allowed to hurt them, kill them, or do anything. They are hers, historically. There's another one somewhere down here, but I've lost him. No, two together, there we are. More. Lots of swans. Brayford's full of them. Look, here they all come through the arch now. I think they're coming here because they think I'm going to feed them because I'm leaning over, but there we are. No food for you today. And the ugly duckling, who's still grey, back there.